It's back to Alivgard. Playing more Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD2. I always have to spell out the whole thing. I love doing that. I laugh at myself every time I do it because it's such a long like it's technically its official title, but it's so long. It makes me laugh. Okay. Oh. No thank you. Soon reach out via text, email, or phone call. I have a new voicemail as of yesterday. Uh-oh. Give me 1 second. Watch out for stray blitz balls. Yeah, I know. Thanking you. I thought it was job stuff, but it was not. Sad. Although I did tell them to call me instead. But yeah. Okay. Who the fuck is this? Sorry, now I'm like unsubscribing from stuff because I guess Google just added a manage subscriptions button for email subscriptions, which is kind of nice, to be honest. Oh my god, I can unsubscribe from... Oh, thank god. We twitching. Hell yeah. What up, what up, what up? Hello, Rambro. Hello, Buster. How you doing? I'm doing good. I was just looking through my emails after submitting job applications yesterday, and I'm probably going to submit more today. This time from the comfort of my own home. Because doing it in public turned out to be a bigger security risk than I expected. Because some job application platforms don't hide the social security number field when you input it. Like, you know when you type in a password and it has all the asterisks, right? So that nobody can see what you're typing out if they're like looking over your shoulder. Some of these job application sites, they don't hide the social security number thing. And I was like filling out a form in like the place I go to, like the bookstore place. I go to Barnes and Noble to do my shit. So I was sitting there and I was like, started typing out my social security number, and I was like, what the fuck? This isn't hidden. So I had to like very quickly, I did this, right? And it made it look like I was, you know, but no, it's just because it was shit. It was just a badly designed like web page. I was so pissed. I was like genuinely pissed about it. I was like, how do you... I mean, yesterday, you all saw my posts probably. Where I was just like, every time I encountered something really dumb while applying for work, I was like posting about it. It's so frustrating. It's like how do you tell me? Like how do you feign that you have any idea what you're doing? Okay? and that, oh, we need like a real professional, real go-getter, someone who does the job right, this, that, or whatever, someone who's qualified. And then you do, why is my webcam being weird? Is it because it's compiling shaders? Probably. And then you do this shit. And then you do this shit. And it's like, like, who's the more qualified person here, me or you? Because from where I'm standing, it seems like I know more about basic fucking security than the people that claim to want to hire me. It was dumb as hell. Anyway. Let's go back to Alifgard. What the hell were we doing? We were hunting for sigils. That's right. And I was here for a reason. I don't remember what the reason was. Oh, I wanted to get the magic key. And I remember that we couldn't find it. So I'm just going to Google magic key. Because if not, we're just going to be wandering again. Here we go. Okay, so it is what I thought it was. Okay. Okay. You did not and cannot miss it. It is part of the story progress. Boo! They don't keep their social security secure on their application system. What other parts of social security aren't up to stuff? Yeah, exactly. But also, it's like, you're also using a third-party platform. And like, what'll make it even worse is if you tell me, oh, we didn't know that they did that. And I'm like, then why did your business elect to use them as like your job application platform? Because most of these places, they have third-party platforms for that stuff. They use like third-party stuff for it, for lack of a better word. So then, like, yeah, that's always the follow-up question of like, so you didn't actually know like how they used their, like how it functioned before you opted in. You mentioned buying doodads this year. Any chance you post about them? I'm in the market for space savers. Oh, okay, so, I don't know what this is called. A really good one that I have that I posted about back when I got it, and I know, I'm sorry, I keep not playing the game. Don't worry, we'll get there. Let me get the name of it for you. So it's these. So I want to buy more of them because I quite like them. I have this thing that you can put into the wall. And I don't think it needs a stud either. I think it just gets held up by the drywall. Although putting it into a stud would be much safer. Forgot to say a great episode. Yeah, Ramber also said that. Y'all really like the new podcast episode? I thought it was pretty good, but I'm not really like a good judge of. I thought I was kind of, that episode moved so fast. I didn't really have time to like, I didn't have time to like evaluate it. Yeah, no, it was. I think I had a good time. I always like talking to Bridget. She's cool as hell. So what I use, it's called. You can find this on Amazon, and it's a little expensive. You might be able to find like a cheaper version of it, potentially. But I really like them. They're like $40 each, and they hold. They're more for like. They're expensive. They're $40. And it's like 4 units of like being able to put like DVDs and stuff in there. DVDs, Blu-rays, whatever. And they go on the wall. It's called You Have Space. Just like Google, you just put in Amazon, you have space with no spaces, and it should come up. It's like one of the only two things that'll come up. One's a yoga mat holder, the other one's for like CDs and DVDs. And I really like it. They're just shelves they're like bookshelves, but you put them into the wall and they hold like, I'm looking at my thing. I have my JoJo's Bizarre Adventure like Blu-ray collection, and I can fit like seven like big box like Blu-rays in there. And they're really good because one of the problems I have with shelf space is that usually what I want shelf space for requires bookshelf spacing, and by bookshelf spacing I mean it needs a way to keep things upright. And a lot of stuff just doesn't do it, you know. A lot of shelving space just doesn't have that unless you buy a bookshelf. But like if you want to keep the ground uncovered, or let's say you have something like a TV media display underneath, you don't have space for a bookshelf. You need shelving space. You need an elevated bookshelf space. So this thing has come in handy a lot, and I really want to buy more. And what I would want to do in my new space when I get to it is I want to border the media area with them and sort of box it in like that. How's the Dragon Quest remake so far? They're good. They're good. They're good. They're really good. I have been pleasantly surprised. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure if we go back to the footage, in between me complaining about the daily life of the average American at the moment, I'm pretty sure I have enjoyed quite a bit of Dragon Quest HD 2D remake. In between me going off on tangents, I've been talking about how much I really like how this game has like been doing stuff. Some people will say he's been distracted, so how can he actually have like a good trustworthy opinion on the video game he's playing? To which I would respond, because I'm not a child and I am able to appreciate things while I am preoccupied. Because I am not a baby that grew up on Coco Melon. That's why. That's how. Sorry if I sound a little off. I just woke up. Like at 2:58 or something. Oh man, I was so tired. Okay, so I had a horrible fuck ass nightmare the night before last. It was terrible fucking nightmare. I'm pretty sure I woke up like because I was having like an anxiety attack. That kind of like bad nightmare, right? So check this out. So I went to bed like at 6 a.m. that night, and I woke up like at 8:14 in the morning with that. And I literally tried to go back to bed because usually sometimes I have nightmares. I get nightmares from time to time. Not a big deal. And when I wake up, I go, wow, that was fucked up. And then I just go back to sleep because that's whatever. Because it's whatever. But this time I couldn't. I legit could not fall back asleep. I was like, this is horrifying. So I just got up and I started my day and I started doing everything. I went out, I did my job applications, I came home, and it was my sister's birthday yesterday, so we went out to eat, and then I came back home and I stayed up again until like 6 a.m. And by the time, when I tell you that by the time I went to bed, I was a zombie. I was a zombie. I was so fucking tired. It was so like, I was ready to fall asleep where I was standing. I was taking a shower and just like falling asleep, standing up with like hot water running down my back. Nothing was going to wake me up again. So when I went to bed, oh man, I woke up. Usually I get pissed when I wake up like at 3 in the afternoon. Today I woke up at 3 in the afternoon and I went, oh, thank God. You curse to roam the depths for all eternity. Should you be brave enough or foolish to seek it out, sail east of here, off the western shore of Rippleport. Okay. I don't believe in no ghost ship. Some years ago, a large party of mercs set forth from the port of Galahome to the east of here. 'Twas a fair day, the sea was calm, the wind down, yet neither they nor their ship were seen again. I have heard much of this ghost ship said to roam the ocean depths, though I cannot imagine how one would go about boarding it. Dun, 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 dun. I'm trying to remember if this is the open world overworld theme for Dragon Quest 2. Because I can't remember which one belongs to which. I know the one for Dragon Age 2 goes hard. I just remember that much. Excellent. Okay, so to get the magic key, we don't actually need to go find it. It will come to us. So we just have to go do all the sigils and get all the sigils, which just means exploring the world again and just hanging out and doing all that shit. So, you know, get comfortable, get yourself some coffee, put me on in the background, and let's do it. Oh my god, a whack that actually worked. A working whack. A whacking work. I knew there was an area here. I almost forgot why I landed on this landmass. Oh, so I can do that. More tombola tickets! Oh, we can go to the one that has 20. Well met, long have I awaited your coming. Hearken unto me, for I have something to tell you. In this world of ours, you will find 3 very oh, come on, man. Oh, come on, that's not even that oh, fuck off. I know that's a holdover from the original 2. But he made it sound so grand. He made it sound, well, I made it sound so grand. So I was expecting him to fucking deliver with an equally grand piece of advice. Pray tell, adventurer. I have something important to tell you. Did you know that you can press the triangle button to open the menu? Yes. Yes, this is very important. Oh, the ship didn't relocate to like down here? Oh, wait, hold on. What if I zoom? What if I zoom down here? Will the ship readjust? Can I save myself some time? Oh. Like a charm. Like a charm. I'm so goddamn smart. Holy shit. Let's go to this secret spot. That's a secret spot in case you couldn't tell. I know it's hard to tell because you're not like a veteran of Dragon Quest like I am. But that's why I'm here and why I'm playing the game. So that you can learn from the best. Take notes. Unfortunately, this secret spot might not have fucking anything. Oh, there's 4 there's 4 treasures? Really? Fucking where? Where? Are they all on the, like, hidden on the floor? Oh, no. Oh, no. Well, they all better be mini medals. Because if they're all mini medals, then I'll be very happy. Mini medal. Mini medal. Many, 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 many metal. Do-do-do-do-do. You know, low-key, I've been kind of pissed off at myself. My acting chops have gotten, like, they have not been good lately. I cannot find, like, the characters that I keep trying to, like, do for fun anymore. And that's bothering the hell out of me. Like, silly character, serious character. Like, the performance is bad. It's a bad performance lately. I'm kind of irritated about it. I'm like, I know I'm a bad bitch. Like, this is wrong. I know I'm better at this than I have been lately. Where's the other one? One more. Where? I've like sniffed the butt of every rock. It's gonna be like in the center of the area as opposed to like propped up against the environment like I'm looking. Maybe like on a patch of green. There's always something, there's always going to be some sort of like hint in the environment for where these hidden items are. Right? It's always either going to be somewhere where the player can easily like scratch for it, or it's going to be like on some sort of like visually distinct part of the ground. I'm not getting anything. I'm not finding anything. Oh, this is gonna be annoying as hell. We're gonna give up in a second. I don't think I'm gonna find it. Maybe down here? I don't think I've been here. Yeah, I don't think I've been here. Maybe like up here? God, I love this overworld theme though. That stupid bastard fucking made a good song. I hope he's burning in hell. Oh well. Let's move on. Nothing here. Oh! Something there, though. Oh, but they want me to work for it. But we don't have to work for it. We can just zoom. Yeah, I'll just zoom. Do I have anything to kill fishy people? I should... cattle prod... I feel like... Maybe this is me just being annoyed. But I feel like cattle prod should work on fish. Fish are cattle. I guess Yuji Horii disagrees. Or whoever was working on gameplay design in this. I forgot we got the Moon Sigil last stream. Last time we streamed Dragon Quest, we got the Moon Sigil, so all our spells are criticals. Not all of, they're not all criticals, but they can all crit. Better way of putting it. Durkendor. Oh, we are caught up. We are actually caught up to all of our objectives. Do we still? No. Okay, we found all the ones that were here. We can go save scum the Tombola. Tombola. A metal slime. We'll wait. We will wait. If they leave, they leave. There's nothing there's no point stressing about the metal slime and taking free damage from the enemies that are here. Oh, we got one. We got one hit. Hatchet Man's worthless. I'm not spending 15 MP on 1,000 experience points. Yeah, we don't have to do that. We can just believe in our party to handle it. I don't need any of that. Fuck, I didn't see what we picked up. I think it was a lance. Some kind of spear. Yeah. Just some kind of spear. Is that any good? Is the new armor we got any good? I don't think it is. Nope, it's trash. It's just trash to sell. That's all most of these little sparkly spots offer. Just trash to give up and make some money off of it. I'm gonna thwack the marionettes. And I'm gonna boom twice. Damn it. Thwack! Thwack! Oh, I should go back and play Dragon Quest Heroes. Oh, that would be such a good time waster. Oh my god. I never finished Dragon Quest Heroes. I never finished Dragon Quest Heroes. I would love to go do... Oh my god. I would love to go back and play that. Did we already investigate this area previously? Yeah, we did. Let's go. Let's just go. Let us venture forth, cousins. There's nothing for us here. Where do we go? Where the fuck do we go? I just want to go pick up areas that we haven't probably not been to yet. Like these 3 islands up here, we haven't probably been there. So, Shrine of Revelations is close enough, I think. This is how I play every Dragon Quest game. Once I'm able to, like, move around. Fearest thou the darkness? Yes, I do. What? Let me teach you something. 'Tis a tale. When that hero did that, face the fathomless darkness, a white-winged wonder did arise. Oh, right. I do think we get the bird in this one. Or maybe they give it to us this time. Oh, right. We've already done all this. Okay. Okay. It probably means we're about to get the magic key pretty soon. I'm just a little irked that the game teased me with so many magic key doors and chests without letting me have any of it. Like, I'm pretty like, I am successfully like desperate for the magic key at this point. Because I know the backtrack is going to be incredible. I know the backtracking to go open all of those is going to be incredible, and I know I'm going to forget some stuff. The Murlusk. It's a mermaid slug. It's a mermaid mollusk. The Murlusk. Crack? No, sizzle. Swoosh. And you do crackle. How does that not? Oh, whatever. I guess they're weak to. Oh, I guess yeah. It's people of. It's creatures of the ocean are weak to lightning. Do you think like out there in the ocean and like the unpopulated parts of the ocean that are just empty and silent and peopleless? Do you think like when thunderstorms happen out there and lightning strikes the water, like what do you think happens to the fishies? Like because like every time we always talk about like all RPGs are like, oh yes, the aquatic creatures are weak to lightning, but I'm like, wouldn't like ocean creatures be more resilient to lightning because they're not They're not like, you know, like they're not like the lightning can't hit them because they're too deep in the ocean, or the ocean is too big, or like maybe they deal with that all the time. I feel like they would deal with that all the time. Like I feel like it wouldn't matter. You know? Well, that's gotta be that's gotta count for creature shit. Unless there's like a bug move. I'm surprised the scorpions are weak to crackle. I don't know what that's about. I mean, you colored this enemy blue. I feel like making them weak to blue is like counterintuitive. Oh, they're not weak to ice though. They're probably weak to fire because they're a bug, right? Yeah. Oh, you wasted your move, my friend. Sorry, you're gone. What? Whatever. No harm, no harm, no foul. You should have died when I hit you last turn, but that's fine. Wayfarer's clothes, rapier, 6 tombola tickets. Fuck. I'm pretty sure the default sprite for the Middenhall cousin for Gawain is the Wayfarer's clothes. No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm just trying. I'm erroneously thinking those are the same outfits because they're both blue, but they're not. They're not the same outfit. They're not the same outfit. The Wayfarer's outfit is like way more loosey-goosey with it. Like it's like very loose-fitting. We're going up to this cave up here because I realize we haven't been there yet. And I'm tempted to just make a quick stop here to go to the secret spot to see if we've scouted everything in the secret spot. Excellent. Let's see. Nose for treasure just saves you so much time. You can just nose for treasure, and once you know there's no treasure in the area, if you're in a dungeon, you just keep going. If you're in a spot you're not sure if you've been to yet, you do that and you're like, oh, I'll take a quick second to go look around. If something's here, yeah, that's great. Thwack! Oh my god, Thwack is actually really good against the sea slimes. I'd rather cast Thwack and try to kill them this way than kill them the old-fashioned way. Less annoying. Moonwort bulb. The Man of Wars have been dropping moonwort bulbs since time immemorial. Or are we? Gwaelin's Gate Island. I've been here. I've been here. There's an empty barrel. Yes. Where is this? Where does this go? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't think I fully explored this back when it was here. King Cobra. Die. I have a DM. From whom? Okay. It's just Nat. It's just my friend Nat. Did I go here? Is this just the... Oh. Well, that's anticlimactic. Why wasn't there a zoom for Gwaelin's shrine? Or Gwaelin's gate to the side? I guess this doesn't have a zoom point. That was a waste of fucking time. I'm sorry, everybody. There is a secret spot up there, though, that I would like to check out, but my boat is on the other side. Let's, actually, yeah. This will be fast. Hang on. Hang on. Well, the boat's there, but that's not where I'm going. So what I will do is just activate Holy Protection, because I don't think anything here can fight us, so. Oh, there's a sparkly bit in the water. How the fuck do we get to the sparkly bit? How do I get the boat there? That's a conundrum. I bet whatever we get to fly around in this game is gonna let us get there. Even if there even is a thing that lets us fly around in this game. Oh, there's another secret spot up there. Oh yeah, I totally missed this earlier. I don't think we're gonna get anything like super cool here, but good to check out anyway, in case we get a mini medal of some kind. Hello, sir. On travels alone or in a small group, use a boomerang or a whip. Those are some deep woods. Someone should really put an Arby's there. What? Have I actually been here? Did I just miss the fucking sparkly spot on the way? Am I running out of game to play? Oh no. Where does it spawn the boat? I wanted to spawn the boat on the outer edge. The cave of the lake. Yes! Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, you know what? We probably get the ability to dive. And that's how we go see the mermaids. No? Alright, fuck it. We can go to Hargon's place. He's not having guests right now. Rimmeldar. And the reason I want to go to Rimmeldar. Hey, Beast, by the way. I don't know if I said that already. It's because I want to go to this island here. So we have to teleport somewhere that's going to spawn our boat inside of here. And I think it's this area right here. I think it's this town. I think Moonahan will do it. I remember we managed to get in there before. Yeah. Oh, there's a sparkly spot like dead ahead. Oh, and a secret spot to the left. I mean to the right. Hang on. Continue casting Holy Protection, because I'm kind of annoyed about fighting enemies at the moment. We'll let enemies attack us. Huh? Oh, we got what we came for. We'll let enemies attack us once we're ready to actually go adventuring to new lands unseen. Oh, that's a secret spot. That's a hell of a secret spot. Look at that. You almost can't see that. Holy crap. Have we been here? We might have, but we did not grab everything. If we did. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. I love this overworld theme so much. Ah! Alright. Moving on. Okay. We are going to the islands down there. God damn it. Stop getting distracted by shiny things. Even though that's kind of part of the point of the game. You're supposed to get distracted and go do other stuff. It's an adventure. That's how adventures work. You're not running errands. You're on an adventure. Oh, yes. 9 gold coins. I'm so glad we took the time to come down here. I'm not upset at all. Oh, shit. And the enemies here are hard. You can tell that they're strong because the holy protection did not prevent them from engaging us in combat. They're weak to lightning, but they have very strong physical defense, so you need to use specifically lightning spells. So Zapple. And then we will just mid-heal ourselves, because... one damn... Ooh. Decelerate. How much health do they have? Two hits. Two hits. I don't like that. I don't have enough MP to revive her. You know what? It's fine. It's not fine. It's not okay. We are in danger. We have to go to a town. I can't zoom! They're all dead! Tell me I have like one Chimera wing. Thank God. Ooh. I should probably trim my beard. I should do that soon. Wait. Since when? Oh, come on. Fizzle. Think he's such talk serves to be fans, so I believe in a great power that protected the land and watches over all. Okay. Whatever, Gramps. Whatever you say, Grandpa. Whatever you say. Where's the healing lady? Hey, I fucked up. I fucked up, man. I fucked up. I didn't mean to, man. I didn't mean to. They just got in the way. Yeah, I should trim my beard before I leave. I'm going on a trip on Friday. I'm going to go visit the place that I am probably going to move to 3 weeks later, 2 weeks later. I'm more or less committed, but to appease the minds of my concerned family. And also just to get a better idea of how much stuff I can bring. Oh, I'm gonna go check it out. See the site, see the area while I'm there. You know, just like a basic reconnaissance mission. Nothing serious. They're letting GC visit Agartha. Why is Agartha so familiar? Why should I know what Agartha is? My brain is like, you should know what this is, you stupid moron. I'm like, I feel like I do. I'm gonna put on the holy protection again. Alright, folks, we're not gonna die again, right? Okay, Paranel? Caradoc? No more dying. Black bandana. Bam balam. Whoa, Black Betty. Bam balam. Black Betty got it right. Bam balam. That thing on right. Bam balam. She's always ready. Bam balam. She's all rock steady. Bam balam. Whoa, Black Betty. Bam balam. Yeah, Black Betty. Bam balam. Mythical city deep within the earth. Oh, it's one of those like fake places. Got it. It's one of those conspiracy theory locations. Understood. Agatha is real. That's probably why I was like, you should know what this is, because my mom has probably talked about it. It is now? Wait, no, wait, was Agartha like a real place? Are you talking? Okay, wait. Okay. Are you talking about like a Hollow Earth thing, or are you talking about like one of those like cities that they built underground? That's like an actual archaeological, historical site. Or like that's apparently talked about in like ancient scripture. Okay, no, okay, he just made it up. Okay. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't confusing what you were saying when you said it was within the earth. Because there are settlements that are underground in real life. We have like real life underground settlements that were built because that's like how the people that lived there were like, you know, that's how they what is that place? We never went over here. What the fuck? I never like fully explored Alfgard. It's most unbecoming of me. I think I got so obsessed with finding the magic key that I just didn't go here. But yeah, those places are cool as hell, by the way. You want to learn about that kind of shit. That's the shit that interests me. I don't care about no pseudoscience conspiracy theory bullshit, but I love me the actual real historic sites. This place was home to the fairies. There was one in particular whose special skill was reading people's personalities. Imagine that. Oh, right. Was this like, I think in the third game, she would like change your characters, whatever. We've been here. Back to wait for someone else. Have fun storming the castle. Later. Everybody be playing Dispatch. I kind of want to play Dispatch, but something tells me I would not like it. And there's literally nothing that, like, all my friends like it. Everyone's telling me that it's good, and I'm like, I don't doubt it at all. I think I'm just like, something about the art style. It might be something about the art style, or like something about like the way it might be written. I don't know. Like, I straight up just don't know, like, why I get that feeling. I just totally had gameplay. Tried the demo with Ninja 2. I think it's still out there. Yeah. I mean, I have friends that literally played the whole fucking thing together, like, not too long ago. They just finished it. It might be, like, the multiple choice. It might be the choices matter tag that it probably has. That bothers me. All right, new town. Let's go. Hello, Cantlin. Hi, Cantlin's still standing strong, man. I think this city has fared the best out of all the cities in the Dragon Quest original trilogy world. Probably because they built their homes out of some strong shit. We were dispatched here from Tangent to see that all was well, but in truth, Canlan had little need of our protection. It is girded all about by great walls and equipped with its own line of protectors who have long stood watch here. Yeah. I'm really glad that I got the same impression the game was trying to get to give off, because, yeah. I would agree. Canlan's doing pretty fine for itself from the fucking looks of it. I gotta apply to more jobs today after this stream. A shop that sells courage and free for that. Truly, boys are simple souls. If I were to open a business, it would be, let's see now, a moneylenders. This one might once sell nothing and still grow rich as a king. Yeah. Welcome, wanderers, to this, my courage shop, where one might purchase bravery, grit, daring, and other such like products of the highest quality. I say purchase, they are in fact all free of charge. Well, how like you your purchase? That's adorable. Ruby wristband. Ruby wristband. Ruby wristband. Don't need it. After a lot of squinting, you may get a message about a revered priest who once gave everything to protect this town. That's how old that's how long it's been since Dragon Quest 1. The fucking guy that sacrificed his life to save the people of Cantlin. The fucking tombstone is like already like worn away. I did challenge the leader of the city's protectors to a duel and did find myself sorely outmatched. He is well trained and more than capable of protecting his hometown. An admirable fellow indeed. Well, you tell me that there's a guy I can challenge, and is there a game that I can play where like, is there a game out there where the point of the game is that you're a wandering like warrior challenging like other renowned warriors to fights? Is that just Way of the Samurai? I think I should go play Way of the Samurai. Should I just go play Way of the Samurai? Did close its doors once and for all only yesterday. Oh. My ways are the ways of the old world. That's so sad. Don't say that about yourself, Grandpa. Flame shield? Yes. Caradoc, put this on. I don't care if it costs me all my money. You needed it, friendo. You needed it. Yeah, give me more tombola. You know what? The sparkly spots are way better in Dragon Quest 2 and way more worth like going out and looking for. Because with the sparkly spots, you sell your items and you have a chance of getting tombola tickets. So there's like a much better incentive to go to them. Because all the chaff items you get, you can just sell those for stuff. That's really smart. That's what it's for. That's why you go get them and you sell the items. So you get tombola tickets so you can play tombola. Learns defizzle. That's a magic key door. Ain't getting in there. The older brother of two sons of the protectors is a kindly boy. Why he doth even water the flower of the fields when he is able, that I might spare mine own ailing back. Oh. What a nice guy. What? 3 tombola tickets. Does this town have tombola? I don't think it does. We have a lot of tombola tickets now, actually. Hold on. Hang on a minute. We have 45 tombola tickets? Oh! We gotta use them. We gotta go use them in Durkendor. Or whatever. I make for Gallenholm, where once upon a time dwelt my hero and idol Galen of the Golden Voice, the greatest bard who ever did live. Man, Galen's legend is like more existent than Erdrick's. Though I guess that makes sense, since everybody taunts the title of Erdrick, the legend sort of congeals into one single thing, whereas like Galen and Zalen are two separate stories. Except even Galen and Zalen, they're like... Even Galen and Zalen are sort of... Their legends are also sort of confused for each other because of like the similarities in their names. This is really well written. This is really well constructed world building. I mean, it's Dragon Quest and it's Yuji Horii, so like of course it is. Like that's not fucking surprising. But it is really cool that even in this remake, it's really cool to see it applied to like an older Dragon Quest game that I don't typically associate with like a well-built, fleshed out story. Not that the original Dragon Quest 2 didn't have it, it's just, you know, you kind of had to make do with what you got back in the day. Because they just didn't have the space to like really weave a tale, you know what I mean? But it's so cool to see the original storytelling elements of Dragon Quest 2 still present. Like, this still feels like I'm playing Dragon Quest 2, despite the fact that there's way more dialogue, way more story, way more world building and explanation and stuff like that. It really feels like what you're getting with this remake is the idealized version of Dragon Quest 2 that Yuji Horii would have made if the resources and the technology was capable at the time. It almost feels like a lot of what we're getting here came straight out of his notes, if that makes sense. Or like this is like the stuff that he cut, not because it wasn't good, but because he didn't have the time. He didn't have the time or the resources. We're the protectors, guardians of Catelyn, and must train each and every day. Oh, they're descended from the pink-haired guy from the first, from the HD2D1. Protect our home meaning not solely to fight, surely. It signifies also the need to listen to the thoughts and concerns of its people, to keep its streets and spaces clean and well-maintained. Yes! Correct! If you're going to be some kind of peacekeeper, there are things that your peacekeeping faction should be doing during the peacetime. Not just because it's a good, nice thing to do, but it's also important that your group have a purpose outside of dealing with violence. You should have some other function to you so that when there is no longer a need for you to keep the peace, you do not turn into some kind of mercenary group or some kind of tyrant. That's literally the mistake in history that every single peacekeeping group always made, is that they fashioned themselves as warriors, and then come peacetime, they did not want to put down their swords because they were only making money for peacekeeping. And now there is no more peacekeeping. There's no more need to keep peace because we are at peace. And so they turned into racketeering and extortion and stuff like that in order to, you know, keep themselves fed and survive. That's why it's important that, you know, that's why it's important to study history, so that you learn those things and go, oh yes, I will not do that. I will fashion this group to be civil servants. So what the cops do now? Yeah. I mean, literally, that's like, you know, the cops, police, law enforcement, the samurai, the, what do they call them in Europe? La Guardia. You know, the civil servants that are just the cops, but like a different flavor. Like, you know. I mean, the big racketeer battery. Yeah. And like that's like historic, you know. But you know, there's gotta be. I'm talking like those don't exist, but there's gotta be at least one in history. There's gotta be at least one peacekeeping group in history who saw the writing on the wall well before it was being written and was like, no, we're actually going to, like, you know, we also need to, like, portray our group as, like, you know, with certain other like aspects to us, so that when we're not doing this thing that we need to be doing now, or that people see us for, they also come to us for other things, so that at the end of the day, when we no longer have to do the primary thing, the secondary thing can become the primary thing, and we're sort of well regarded for those things. And that allows us to, like, continue to earn a living and, like, you know, whatever. Like, that's literally, like, is it, you know what? I think I might be just talking about Metal Gear Solid here. I think Hideo Kojima's, like, entire, like, brainchild was about this very exact problem, where it's like you raise soldiers to be soldiers, but you don't ask them to be anything else, and so they don't know how to be anything else, and so you perpetuate this wartime economy, and by design, you know. And some people, like, want that, and, like, some people prefer that because it makes them money or whatever, and, like, but then you run into, like, that's how you get PMCs and stuff like that, and the reason they exist is because they literally don't have any other skill set, because they were raised to just, they were trained to just be killers, you know? They were trained to be soldiers and nothing else, and when soldiers don't have something to do, you know, and also you know, the military industrial complex sort of wipes its hands of veterans and stuff like that as well. So it's like, oh, wow, Hideo Kojima, you know, smart guy, clever dude. Ugh.
I feel a frost coming on.
Oh, I'm way stronger than everything here. Ugh. I think there's one more area around here that we have to go look into. No MP gain. Oh, crap. We're hitting that point where he's kind of, Gawain's kind of going to start falling behind in the MP department. As intended. Excuse me, as intended. Right, we have to go down here. The question is, will the boat... If I go here, will the boat spawn close by? Other string of real estate fails going to Mazda, and someone tries to blind you with candle wax. Light horse Harry Lee. Harry Lee? Yeah, it's just like, you like... I'm surprised more military guys... Well, you know what? That's I don't blame the military guys for it. I'll be honest. I blame the training they receive. Because the training that modern soldiers, I don't know if they changed it, but like post-Vietnam, the training that modern soldiers get is like straight up like about straight up like dehumanizing the enemy. Like it just trains you to be a fucking like barbarian. For I am the guardian of said sigil. Yay! I don't trust you. You look different. Know that only with this courage to scale the power you see before. You look like you're like a monster in disguise. Like you look like you have some like cat-like qualities. I think you might be the boss. Like you have whiskers. We have found progress, folks. So get ready to do some monster fighting. He's Robert, the traitor's father. Robert, oh, okay. But there's gotta be, I'm sure there's some veteran groups out there that are like, yeah, we're a veteran, we're a support group for veterans, and what we do is we teach them like other skills. Although I guess like that's kind of like what the GI Bill is for, right? Where it's like once you've done your service or whatever, you get like, I don't know, I don't think it's a lot, but you get some amount of help to like go to school and stuff, so that you can like actually have a skill set that isn't military training. And that's how they like recruit people. But I don't know how good they honor that stuff, because I've worked with a lot of veterans doing food service and stuff like that, and like a lot of them are miserable, don't have the skill sets, and like can't go to school. I think the saddest one is I worked with a guy, I think I've told this story before, but not while playing this game. I met a guy I worked with a guy who, for like months before they hired him, he would come visit our store to hang out. He was working at the PF Chang's across the street. We were like in an outdoor mall situation. So when I say across the street, I really mean like across the parking lot. Because we had an external location to the external mall, to the outdoor mall. But we were like in the same, it was literally in the parking lot of the mall. It was a very weird location, very good location, but very weird location. He would always stop by. He kept asking my manager for a job. And when they finally hired him, I thought he was no longer working at PF Chang's, but no, he would work at PF Chang's, end his shift, and basically in the same uniform come to work with us for a second shift. And I always thought that was weird, because I knew he was ex-military. He had already told us plenty of times he was ex-military. And he, like, he was weird. He was weird, but not like creepy weird. He was just weird. He was just like quirky weird, right? Like he was just very nice guy, very personable, very happy, got along with everybody. Fucking got along with everybody. In fact, like more people thought he was like more annoying just because he was like so friendly. But like he never like it always confused me, because I was like, why are you working two jobs? You know? And he would tell me, he goes, I actually don't need the money, because I'm confusing him for somebody else. I asked him, like, I was like, why do you need two jobs? Like, why are you working two jobs? And he told me, he goes, well, they don't give me, like, I don't get veteran benefits. And I was like, why? And he was just like, they just haven't like paid out in like a long time or something like that. He was just like, yeah, we don't, it's just the money's not that good, basically. Once you're like, it's just not enough to get by. And he was like, but the second job isn't the reason, but I don't take the second job because of that. Right. And I was like, what? And I asked him, I go, but like, you know, do you need a second job? And he was like, no, not really. And I was like, but then why do you have it? And he goes, I have really bad PTSD from being in the army. And he said, if I am not outside, I have to go home. And if I have to go home, I have to sit alone in my house. And when I sit alone in my house, I get very sad and I drink. And it's not good for me to be home by myself. And that fucked me up. And that fucked me up. And then he continued to go on. He was like, yeah, I can't like, and then like the more I got to know this guy, the more I realized that he probably had like a learning disability. So like even if he wanted to go to school, he would need like extra support on top of that. And once you got to know him, it was pretty clear that his mental state was not, he was not the kind of person that would be able to do that on his own. Like he would need somebody to help walk him through it. And like, that shit was so sad. I hope he's doing all right. I hope he's doing all right. I don't like, he wasn't like the best guy ever. Like I didn't agree with his, like some of the stuff he would do or say. And honestly, sometimes I felt like he would say certain things to compensate for the fact that he didn't actually think those things. And he just wanted to fit in with like a group of people that, you know, we're all sort of in the same boat of just trying to sound like cool. So like he would say like pig-headed shit all the time, but like when it was just me and him, he would never say those things. And he would like okay, so one time we were watching the Olympics, and we were at work watching the Olympics. I worked the bar and the Olympics were on, so you know, and it was dead, like there was nobody there. And we're watching like a gymnast do this sick routine, and he's just like going on about like how amazing her form is, right? He's just going on about like how cool her form is, and like how much work you have to get to do to like be able to do that kind of stuff, and how hard it is, and how like people are always like going on about like how the Olympics have so many things that aren't sports, and how he like hates when people say that because it's like there's so much talent on display and this and that. And then a guy, random guy, we don't know who he is, sits at the bar. And when I tell you this guy, it was eerie in the way that like he kind of like, he does like one of like these side-eye things where he sees the guy sitting at the bar, and then he says the most pig-headed shit about this lady, something about her legs. And I was just like, and I looked at him and I said, you know me, sometimes sometimes my mouth moves faster than my brain can tell it not to go. And you know, like I'm outspoken. Like I don't stop to like. I don't stop to like. Sometimes like. Sometimes I say things that you should say, but I don't pick up on the fact that maybe I should wait until later to say it. And with this guy still next to him, after he made like that comment, I was like, that's not how you were talking like 2 seconds ago before this guy sat down next to you. And he looked at me and he kind of like fumbled his words or whatever, and we kind of just dropped the subject because you know, obviously, of course, in true GC fashion, the minute the words left my mouth, I like halfway through the sentence, I was like, you shouldn't be fucking saying that. So I dropped it. He made some like deflecting comment. I don't remember what the fuck it was, but I dropped it. But like it was like, it really was just like a switch had flipped on in his mind, because he was like, he saw that there was a guy sitting next to him, and he was like, he had to compensate. Like he needed to assert that he was like a manly man, you know, like he wasn't like some kind of weirdo, you know. And like, it's so sad, because like you can kind of tell that it wasn't that, what, like in that moment I realized that like the person that I had come to know better, like I in that moment I was able to separate like the external image of that person, like the projection of who this person wanted to be seen as, or who this person wanted to sort of like pretend to be, and like who he actually was. It was one of the, it's one of those moments that I'm just never gonna forget, and I always think back on it, and I always remember it, where I was like, there was a small window of time where I got to see the true, kind, thoughtful person behind the trauma, behind the societal pressure to be a certain way or to act a certain way, behind like the cultural like pressure. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it. It'll live on in my head rent free. That guy, I hope he's doing better now. I hope he's not that kind of person anymore, because like that was like an eye-opening moment where I was like, there really are people out there who are trapped inside their own minds, either by choice or by circumstance, and it's so scary and so sad, in like a just like one of those ways of like, fuck man, like there's a good person in there. And that's kind of why like I don't really there's like certain people that are like, well, I can't in good conscience give you the benefit of the doubt, because of the things you are saying are incredibly hurtful and mean, right? And I know there's people out there who are like, and some people are out there where it's like literally the smallest of transgressions are tantamount to inciting open war against them, which is bizarre to me. But like there's a certain like gray area for me, or not a gray area, but there's a certain like escalation of thing you can say or whatever, where I'm like, I'm not giving you the benefit of the doubt, but I am going to sort of entertain your nonsense, because part of me believes that there is a better person in there, and if I just give that, like part of me believes that like there are people who act or say certain things because they believe it is like the socially accepted thing and they desperately want to fit in, and like I will entertain a certain amount of like stupidity, for lack of a better word, if I get a feeling that there's like a good person inside of you. If I can just give that person, that like good-natured soul, the opportunity to exist and to just be present and like welcome in the conversation or in the space that we're in, like my hope is that person sort of, you know, that like true essence of who you really are and what you like actually care about, you know, emerges forth, and we can have like a, you know, like a real conversation, and you can be yourself. You know, you don't have to say these things that you heard other people say. You don't have to say things that you're used to saying just because, like, you know, fucking some guy on the TV made it sound like that was like the thing everybody believed in and stuff. I know a lot of people don't do that kind of thing and don't care for that thing and don't have patience for that sort of thing. But I think it's important that there are people that can do that. I think it is important that there are people out there who can, like, like roll with someone being kind of like a shitheel, so that sort of the walls come down. Like, you need that. You do need that in society. I'm not saying you got to excuse every little thing somebody says. You know, there are people out there who genuinely are hateful, and to be honest, there are some people who are too far gone in the pipeline that it's like, at this point you're not, at this point you're you know, you have to suffer consequences for your actions in a greater form than just embarrassment. Like, you know, like at some point, like, you gotta cut the cord, right? But I don't like cutting the cord right away, I guess, is my thing. It's like, I like being present in the hopes that my presence and my influence rubs off on them in like a positive, healthy way, where they sort of like improve as people. I don't know. I like being a good influence. I like being a good influence, and you can't be a good influence if you cut people off from your influence. And I think a lot of people forget that. And that's what makes not like talking to certain people, or not, you know, engaging with people that were your friends. That's what makes it sad. It's not like it's not that, oh, I can't hang out with this person anymore. No, that's not the sad part. The sad part is when, like, you know that there's a good person there, but you can no longer sort of like stick around to like encourage them to be better people. Or in some cases, when the reality is that the person that you're trying to sort of like encourage to be better decides they don't want to be, and that they align more with like the people who are bad influences on them and stuff like that. And then it's like, well, what the hell are you gonna do? There's nothing you can do at that point. Like, you just gotta like consider it a lost cause. But I think people default to lost cause too fast. That's my personal opinion. I think people default to someone being a lost cause way too fast. I think people don't want to have the personal. People don't want to be responsible for other people, which is fair. But I think like if you want people to be better people, there is a certain level of responsibility you have to take on for them to be better people. And that's why people who do become better people owe you their thanks. And usually, yeah, if somebody is like a piece of shit and then they become better people, you know, they tend to be very grateful. In my personal experience, I am very grateful for my friends who did stick around and did like call me out on things and encourage me to be a better person than I was, even though I did say messed up things sometimes. And now they're like the best friends I've ever had, and I am very comfortable acknowledging that. I'm sure the feeling is very mutual. Like, Nat and I are like the bestest of friends. Nat and I are super close, my friend Nat and I. But like, that wasn't always the case, and I used to say like stupid shit, and sometimes I still say stupid shit. But like, I'm eternally grateful to Nat for like having the patience to sort of like whatever, and seeing that I and like seeing in me the person that I could be, you know. That's part of what friends are for, man. That's part of what friends are for. Friends aren't, you know, your friendships aren't just about like, you know, fucking around and playing video games and just saying shit to each other that you already agree with, and never like fucking talking about like stupid shit you say. Sometimes friendship is, hey man, what's up? What's up, man? You kind of being a fucking dickhead. Or, hey, man, that shit ain't funny. Or, hey, man, you said something that wasn't cool. I don't know if you are aware. Or, hey, this was incorrect, what you said. Like, that's just wrong. Good friendships have some amount of friction. Sometimes. That's how people that's how society works. That's how people function. That's how you, like, you know, grow as people together, you know? Like that's the point. That's a good thing. That's a thing to look forward to. I know so many people that are just like, the minute people disagree, the minute like they get into an argument with a friend, it's like, well, I'm not gonna talk to them anymore. It's like, why? You had a fucking argument. Who gives a shit? Like, fucking get over it. Whatever. The Dragon Quest 2 playthrough is turning into like the GC like motivational speaker power hour, and I don't know how to feel about it, to be perfectly honest with you. You gotta have some level of, like, you gotta boost your defense stat and your what is it? What's the stat that resists spells in Dungeons and Dragons? Wisdom. You gotta have like a wisdom stat, man. You gotta have the ability to withstand people you care about saying stupid shit sometimes. Because they're not gonna know that they're saying stupid shit if you don't tell them that they're saying stupid shit.
I have you now.
You can't just assume they know better. Some of them don't know better. They don't have your experiences. Even if they're your friends, even if you think that they know better, sometimes they don't. That's why you gotta talk to them about this shit. Oh, I don't want to do that. You know, it's not my responsibility. It's not about fucking responsibility. It's about caring about somebody enough to want them to be better people. Fucking... Oh my god, I know so many people like that. I know so many people that are like, oh, you know, people gotta, you know, we have to, like, care about each other and be there for one another and this and that. And then the minute somebody, like... And then the minute, like, the fucking, like, opportunity falls into their lap to be an educator, to be a communicator with their friends, with people that they get along with all the time, aside from this one moment, they fucking, like, fall apart. And it's like, no, I don't want to do that. You're a fucking phony then. You don't want the world to be better. You want the world to be you. You want the world to be perfect. You want this perfect fucking world where nobody makes mistakes and nobody, you know, learns the wrong things. And it's like, that's not the world. That will never be the way the world works. Well, it shouldn't be my job to do it. Then whose job is it going to be? Whose job is it? Whose job is it to teach your friends better? Because your friends aren't going to know better because they don't even know that it's a problem. You have to tell them. You're just walking away from the problem. That's all it is. I'm sorry. You just have to admit that you don't care enough. You don't actually care enough. You just want to be left alone. You don't want to fix problems. You don't want problems to get solved. You just don't want to have any problems. Very different. Very different. Unfortunately, you will never not have problems. There will always be problems. Which means you gotta solve them. You gotta build a resistance and a resilience to facing problems. Not to be too anime about it, but you can't always run from your problems. At some point, you gotta deal with it. And the less you deal with it, the less resilient and the less capable you are of meeting resistance head on. And then you just end up becoming performative because, you know, because then you just like complain about the way everything is and then you never actually like do anything productive about it. You just sit there and whine. And then like people suffer around you, but like you don't do anything about it and like you don't like pursue an improvement. Where am I? Oh, I fucked up. I big fucked up. I fell down the wrong hole. I thought I was gonna fall back into like the staircase area. I still don't have. Jesus, I still don't have like a multi-target move with Gawain. Oh well, we'll just keep spamming Boo. But yeah. You don't have to do it with strangers, but with friends or like people that you have like a good rapport with, or like just like, you know, acquaintances that you get along with that you don't really know that well, but like you feel comfortable enough to be like, hey, you know, I don't know, we should be different about that. I don't know, like practice that. Practice talking to people when they say stupid shit without like getting mad about it. You know, find a way to communicate with people in a way that encourages them to be different. And cut them off when they've established multiple times that they do not want to do that. But like one time is stupid. Maybe with a stranger, sure, but like with someone you know or someone who knows someone you know or something, like you gotta have a little bit more like patience than that. And I know that might sound like annoying. I'm not gonna say it's not annoying, but like I don't know, that's society, that's socializing, that's communicating, that's, you know, it's not always clean, it's not always simple, it's not always like in your favor. It's not always about you, it's not always about what you want. You gotta sometimes you gotta work for that. Sometimes you should make an effort to help somebody think differently than the way they're thinking. Now I'm talking in circles, so let's drop it. But Jesus, I know so many people like this, and it bothers the shit out of me. It's mostly white people, to be honest, but like that's obvious because white people don't know what it means to get told incredibly offensive shit and then sit there and not make a big deal out of it, because if you do, suddenly you're the bad guy. They don't know that. They don't know ball. You know. They're not used to having to find a way to say what you want to say without looking like an asshole, or like being in a situation where if you decide to just cut people off the minute they say something that's fucking nasty to you, you would have no fucking friends and nobody. They don't know what that's like, so they don't really have like the fortitude nor the incentive to Learn how to be better speakers. Being a minority in the United States is very funny. It's not the way I would describe it all the time, but sometimes you just gotta laugh. Unable to see a world where they aren't in control, not acting selfish, not understanding what Black or Puerto Rican people tell them not to do something. Have I told the story of how I used to think I was like, I used to not consider myself like that different from like Caucasian Americans, like culturally, and like on the spectrum of like intersectionality. I kind of treated myself as sort of an exception to it, and I was like, nah, I'm just white. I already talked about that, and like I used to think that, and then I went to MagFest with a bunch of my friends who are white. So I used to be like, because like sometimes like I would describe things to my white friends, and they would be like, well, yeah, GC, they said that shit to you because you're Hispanic, or like because they were being fucking racist to you, and I was like, what are you talking about? No way were they being what? And I would kind of like do that because I was like, why would, like, I'm white passing. I would say that to my white friends. I'd be like, I'm white passing, and my white friends would go, no. And I'd be like, what are you talking about? Look at me. And they'd be like, no. And I never understood what they meant. I never quite grasped the point they were making until we went to MagFest. And we're in line for our tickets, and I start looking around, right? And I start looking around, and I'm like, oh, there's a lot of white people here. And I'm like, wait a minute. And then it started to dawn on me, where I was like, oh, I do look different from like a white, like a white guy. Like I do look Hispanic. like I am actually very Hispanic. Cause like I'm sitting there and I'm looking around and I'm looking at like all these white folk, and I'm like, I don't look like anybody here. Number one. Number two, like culturally, like I started like learning more about white folk. Something you should know, something that's like weird, is that like Miami, when you live in Miami, you don't really come into contact with a lot of white people. And the white people that you do come into contact with, they're not like Miami lives in like a Hispanic bubble, right? Where it's like a lot of the culture in Miami is like deeply influenced by Hispanic cultures. The greater umbrella of Hispanic culture, which is very diverse. So like growing up, I can tell you how many white people I knew. 2. I knew 2 like white people. Okay? Like 2 like truly actually white people. And they had incredibly white names, which I won't say because that would be doxing them. But that's it. We had like 2 white people in our high school. We had no white people in my middle school. I don't think we had any white people in my elementary school aside from like my one of my teachers. Like it was very Hispanic. And it wasn't until like I started meeting people from outside of the state. I didn't know a lot of people from outside of Florida, almost at all. I did not know a single non-Floridian until I was like 23, 22. And I started listening to those friends of mine talk about like their culture, and like not like their culture, like, oh, we're gonna have a conversation about culture, but like literally just like talk about like their day-to-day and like what they're doing and like what they have fun doing and like what their family does for holidays and stuff like that. It was bizarre. And like that moment at MagFest where I'm looking around and I'm like, I do not see myself in any one of these people. Like there's no like I see a Hispanic guy over there, right? And I'm like, I think I have more in common with that guy than anybody else here. And it was kind of eye-opening for me. I forgot why I was bringing this up. Oh yeah, it was kind of eye-opening for me. And then I did meet some other people from like the Caribbean and stuff. Like Nat's Haitian, so like we kind of bonded over that we were both from like we were both from the Caribbean. We were both from the islands, as we put it. And like as I kind of like got to know all these people more and was like sort of exposed more to like the greater United States as a whole, I was like, I am not white. I am white Hispanic. I am white, but like I am not like a traditionally white Caucasian person. And it explained so much about like interactions I would have with people outside of Miami. Wild stuff. But then I would notice things about like my white friends. If you have a friend that literally breaks down at the slightest like if you have a friend that literally and I'm sure you've had one. If you have a friend who literally breaks down at the slightest like need to sort of like persevere through something, and they literally have no like constitution for friction at all, 9 times out of 10 they're a white person. If you've ever heard someone be loudly upset about something, despite the fact that like plenty of people are suffering, but they have a tendency to like turn every little slight against them into a tragedy, or they like to like take things personally way too often, 9 times out of 10 it's a white person. Because I feel like people who are like minorities and more marginalized people, I feel like they are more accustomed to those things, and they've sort of been desensitized to it, and they sort of just, they don't really stress it too much. Like they kind of just move on with their lives, and they'll complain about it later, or they'll talk shit about it whoever later, but like ultimately like they'll just move past it. And I think that's a result of the fact that they are a person of color or of some ethnicity that's not like European, Caucasian, white. I think that's like a real like, I think that in my experience, rather, I should say that in my experience, that tends to be the case. I have no fucking clue where I'm going. I'm lost. I need to get back to the staircases and go to the guy at the end. That's what I need to do. This is not going to be progress. This is going to be progress. I was trying to loot all the chests, but I couldn't find anything.
I have you now.
Sorry for going off again. I don't know what it is about Dragon Quest that brings this out of me. I have no idea why Dragon Quest brings this shit out of me. But yeah, De Jesus has the right of it. For once. De Jesus has the right of it. I shouldn't say for once. I hate all of De Jesus's headcanons, but I love when De Jesus nails the discrepancy between marginalized and non-marginalized experiences.
I have you now.
That for once was wild. I don't like De Jesus's headcanoning of fiction, but I do love De Jesus being on top of socio-economical political things. Sometimes I do those as jokes. That's true. Let's see.
Brace yourself.
Okay. I do need to kind of like heal my party. Our healers don't have any MP. What's that barking? Why are my dogs barking? They never bark. That's not true. They bark all the time. Yo, that prayer ring stood the test of time. Did you see how many times I got use out of that prayer ring? Holy crap. That's got to be a record of some kind. I want to make Gawain faster. So I'm going to pump him with things. Seed of luck. Oh. My guy needs a... What the fuck? 175 luck? What are you made out of? Oh, you need more stamina, girl. I don't know. I'm not really sure what good Matilda is to us. Like, I'm not sure what her strong suit is. She feels very tacked on at the moment. Due to seething resentment of being one of the good ones. Yeah. Definitely. I come from a family that is, as far as I know, pretty entirely white, and I am absolutely familiar with the types of people you were discussing. Yeah. Yeah, this guy's suspicious. Matilda knows better. Yeah, this guy's suspicious as hell. I clocked him. I clocked him immediately. I knew exactly what the fuck he was trying to do. We're gonna go up this set of stairs first, because this might be a dead end. I'm so smart. But it also means I healed all my characters for nothing. I thought I was getting a boss fight right here. I've met a lot of those people, and a lot of times they're just white people. I'm sorry. Like, I don't think that's true for all white people. But in my experience, the people who tend to be less equipped to deal with issues are white. Are people with privilege, we'll say. They're going to be 100%, but white families have a habit of coming from heavily authoritarian households where the slightest decision disagreement carries severe consequences. Yes. Yes. A lot of Hispanic households are like that too. But like the problem is just like the general air about it. Just like the, I don't know. It's for more smarter people to explain. I don't know. It's very difficult to explain to people. It's very difficult to explain to people the difference between, like, what. Never mind. It's just. I get frustrated with the way some of the people that I've met frame certain things about my upbringing and my status. where like I don't think they don't really know the full extent of the story, and they are very quick to disregard. I don't know if anybody else has this experience, but like sometimes certain people will try to diminish or discredit your there are some people who will look for any reason to be like, oh yeah, you don't have problems. Like, oh yeah, you don't have like being Hispanic or being black or being Asian or whatever in this country. Like you don't face issues for those reasons because of this and that, because you have this or you have that. And that's like really annoying to me. Like a lot of times they will try to like diminish the marginalized experience based on certain factors that person may have that other marginalized people may not. And the problem is, it's not that like, oh, that person isn't privileged actually. You know, yeah, no, marginalized people can experience some amount of privilege, you know, because of other factors or whatever. Personally, I disagree with certain assessments people have tried to make about me, based on those things. But like, it is very frustrating when some people want to like claim that you are not in some like that who you are and like your marginalization in the United States doesn't really factor into who you are as a person because you have other forms of privilege that make up for it. And that shit's annoying. Just because I carry myself well, and just because I am doing all right for myself, does not mean that I do not experience some like the same sort of issues that marginalized people that share my marginalization deal with. And I think that is like, that's one of those things that I never hear come out of the mouth of like an actual marginalized person. I always hear it come out of the mouth of like a white person. Or rather, yeah, I always hear it come out of like a white person. We don't do that come together afterwards and show love of the conflict. I misbehaved slightly and got grounded in my room and disallowed to go to the bathroom. Yeah. That shit's insane. White, you know what actually always bothers the shit out of me? White families tend to try to kick their kids out of the house once they're a certain age, or like tell them to pay rent once they're a certain age, in this really weird, misguided, what I feel is like a misguided attempt to like teach them the values of home, of your financials or something, which is really bizarre because it implies that you never explain to your child beforehand that everything they have costs money. And that, like, yeah, you live here because I pay money to someone, or I pay a mortgage or something, right? It's a really bizarre thing that I've always felt weird because, like, Hispanic families don't really do that. In Hispanic families, you're almost expected to, like, stay home until you get married. Like straight up, like we don't. Like, Hispanic families don't kick their kids out of the house unless it's, like, other baggage surrounding that. But I always see, like, even in white families where, like, everybody loves each other and everybody gets along, the parents are like, okay, you gotta go get your own place now, and if you stay here, we're gonna need you to pay $500 to $600, maybe more a month to live here. And I always thought that was so fucking weird. Like, white culture is allergic to generational households. Maybe it's a rich white person thing. I guess if you're poor and white, it's a little bit more like what I'm used to, which is like people going, "Why are you gonna move out?" I get the opposite problem. I get the opposite problem. In my experience, like me and my Hispanic friends, like us wanting to move out was like a big deal of like, why? Why are you gonna do that? That's stupid. Do you hate us? Like that's the kind of shit you get told. That's the kind of shit you hear as like a Hispanic person who wants to move out of his house. Did I already go here? I'm not even like, I'm just like, I feel like I've played so much Dragon Quest that I could play any Dragon Quest game almost blindfolded. It's a wasp thing? What is a white, what's a wasp? I don't know your fancy terms. White Anglo-Saxon Protestant? Yeah. Okay. It's like, I don't get that shit. I don't get that shit at all. And then they're like, oh, pay rent. The weirdest part, the weirdest one is like when white people, like my white friends will tell me, oh yeah, my mom wants me to move out, and until I do, I have to pay her rent. And I'm always like, how are you supposed to like save up money to get your own place if like you're paying rent to your parents? Like, how does that make sense? It just sounds like they just want you to like pay for the rent. It just sounds like they want you to like pay for stuff. Like, I don't get it. Like, what are you talking, like that's never made, like, I even talked to my parents about this. My parents are like, yeah, I don't get that shit either. Like, if I want you to move out, why would I ask you to pay rent? Like, it would be harder for you to like save up the money to do that. And ideally, I wouldn't want you to rent someplace. I would want you to move out into your, like, a place you own. Like, why would I stack the cards against you? You're my child. I would be stacking the cards in your favor. Never made sense to me. I've seen some folks like online in the past who've done the rent thing with their kids but put all the money into an account to give them later, but even that's a little weird. That's weird because like that's not how you're gonna teach your kid the financial value. It literally just means you're holding on to the money. So the kid has, like, the kid's not learning how to save money. That's not how you teach money saving skills. Because the person that you want to teach the money saving skills is not actually putting them into practice. You have literally removed their ability to put money saving skills into practice. Oh, but they save the money to pay me the rent. Well, no, they just see it as another expense. Like, they're not putting money away. You understand? Like when they go out to rent, once they actually become renters, right? Or mortgage payers or what have you, they're not gonna see it that way. Like, they're not gonna see they're just gonna see the new rent they're paying as the rent they were paying you, but they're not actually going to be setting aside money aside from that on their own. Like, you've taught them how to pay bills, which, congratulations, nobody needs to be taught how to pay bills. That comes pretty self-explanatory. You don't want to teach them how to pay bills. You want to teach them how to save money, which means you have to teach them how to do that on their own. I don't fucking get it. I don't fucking get it. You have to teach your kids how to save money, so you have to get them into the habit of saving money. You can't save the money for them. That's not going to teach them dick. Teach them how to open a savings account. Do you want to know something really fucking sad? I don't have a savings account because I've never made enough money to justify owning a savings account. But also, I don't know how to open a savings account because no one ever walked me through the process of opening a savings account. I'm 32 years old and I don't know how to open a savings account. I've never been in the financial situation where a savings account would have been useful to me. But it would be nice to have known how to do that. You know what? I'll go teach myself how to do it right after this stream. My savings account just kind of passively accrues a little bit of interest by sitting there because my ass does not put money into it currently. Yeah. I have a friend who, oh my god, Sos. We call him Sos, so it's fine. It's a pseudonym to begin with. My friend Sos was not making a lot of money, but then started making a lot of money because he went and he got some training and now he makes like a good amount of money. But when he started working the job that was making him like a good amount of money, he would take his money, cash his checks. He would have some money in his like, you know, checking account, I would assume, because he had a credit card. Or he had a debit card or whatever, but he would put the brunt of his money underneath his mattress, which we thought was funny, you know, because Sos wasn't doing it to be paranoid. Sos probably thought it would be really cool to keep like money in his mattress, like, you know, like have like a fat stack of cash like in a band in his mattress. You know, Sos is that kind of guy, right? He loves, you know, he loves that kind of shit. Like he loves like kind of like having like a secret something, right? Okay. Right, fine. So he kept like taking pictures of it as he kept putting more under his mattress, and he would give us the number. That number, I might even be lowballing it. I think it was more than that. But at some point, we asked him, hey, how much money do you actually have under your mattress? And we were asking as like a haha, like it's probably going to be like a couple grand, you know, some amount of money that's like, it's not a nothing amount of money, but like, you know, like the kind of money you would expect somebody who was like keeping it physically somewhere like hidden, you know, would have it, you know, like 2 grand, you know, 3 grand, you know, like 1 or 2, like, you know, like not a non-zero, not an insignificant number, but like a reasonably significant number. This fucking guy, my friend Sos, my wonderful friend Sos, who I have known for almost 10 years now, said $25,000. To which, yes, yeah. That was my reaction. I went, you have how much money sitting in a mattress? And when, yeah, I haven't put any of my, aside from like the stuff that I need to pay for bills and like, you know, some spending money in my checkings, I take everything out and I put it under my mattress. That's what he was doing for like a year and a half. So naturally, again, you know me. I went, Sos, what the fuck are you doing? And we spent, I think we spent like, we must have spent like 3 to 5 months I think we spent 3 to 5 months every day, or rather every weekend, because we would hang out every weekend, just going, open a savings account. So you should open a savings account. And he was like, no, I don't want to do that because like I don't really want the bank to have the money. I don't really trust the bank to have the money. And I was like, so it's a bank. Like I know the banks are fucking stupid, or whatever. Like I know that banking is like the poison of society or whatever. But like your money is actually much safer. You know, the bank owing you $25,000, like aside from total societal collapse, it'll be safer in a bank than it will be in your mattress. Okay, because cash can get lost, but you know you have your money's protected. Okay, like in a bank, it's more protected in a bank than it is under your mattress. Right? And he was like, no, but like, I don't know, or whatever. The way I had to convince him to actually take out a savings account was I had to go out of my way to look up interest rates for savings accounts. And I told him, I said, Sos, with the amount of money you have right now, at the interest rate that you would be able to get by opening a savings, because I don't know if you know this. Fun fact for people that don't know this and don't have a savings account yet, and you're interested in one. The more money you open a savings account with, the better the interest rate you get for it. So if you have 25,000, and by the way, the flat amount that you need for like a decent interest rate on a savings account is not a lot. You don't actually need that big of an initial deposit. It's more than you'd hope, but it's less than you'd think. And I was like, Sos, you can get like a 5%, maybe more interest rate on your savings if you opened a savings account with this amount of money right now. Like you would be making a decent passive income from your savings account if you opened one. And like we had to go through, and like even then he pushed back. So I had to at one point I literally sat down with him while we were hanging. I think we were at Chili's, and I pulled it up on my phone and I showed him. I go, look, this is just my bank, and I showed him my bank, and I was like, for my bank, these are like the incentives you get for opening a savings, and like these are the different tiers of savings you can get, and like these are like the different ones you can benefit from depending on how much money you put in there. And I was showing him that, and finally, like a month after I did that with him, we get a text message, and it was like, and he was like, I'm going to miss the money mattress, but it is all in a savings account now. And I think our collective friend group breathed a sigh of relief. I think we're all like, ah. Any number. That's what we were telling him. We were like, Sosa's mom is kind of a, she's a little shady, and by shady I mean she's a little bit of a manipulative person, which Sos knows, at least at the time anyway. Like Sos was aware that his mother was kind of like a controlling, an over controlling like psychopath. So we used to tell him, we go, Sos, like, what stops your mom from like going into your room and just taking your money without telling you? Because she's apt to do that because he pays all the bills in the house. His mother doesn't work. Like his mother, like the story. This is probably too much information. His mother doesn't work. It's a long story, and before you go, oh, maybe she has a good reason for not working. No, no. Maybe now that she's too old to work for sure, but like the history there is that no, she totally she totally just like threw the responsibility of paying bills onto her son the minute he was old enough to like earn a paycheck. Anyway, so like we were like, what if your mom takes your fucking money out of your fucking mattress, man? Like, what if somebody breaks into the house, or she brings someone over that you don't know, and they fucking rob you blind, man? Like, this is not a safe place to have your money. Like you gotta put that shit away, bro. And I think literally he was just nervous about like the bank losing the money, or like something happening to the banks and then he doesn't have money anymore, which wouldn't have happened. Like, you would still own, like in that event where the banks owe you money and the banks cannot afford to have people take out their money, you would still be owed that money. You just can't take it out, which is a problem. But like when the bank inevitably bounces back, you will still have that money. That money will still be yours. You will still like, they will still owe you that amount of money. That money will still like is on record as being money that the bank owes you, right? And if the banks never recover, well, it's the end of modern society as we know it, and money no longer matters. So like, you know, that's not a problem. You know, that's not your concern.
Brace yourself.
My bank will secure 200K. Yeah. Like you're gonna be fine. But he was legitimately scared about that. We had to fucking really press him to do it. I'm so glad he did though, because he's actually doing pretty good for himself from what I remember. Like, because I think his house is paid off, because like he paid off his mom's house, and he's not moving out. We've talked to him about it. I was like, so you ever think about moving out? And he goes, no. I go, why not? And he goes, I paid for this fucking house. This is my fucking house. My mother just fucking lives here. This is my fucking house. And I'll be damned if I leave my fucking house. And you know what? Fair enough. Fair enough. Proud of him, I don't even know him. Yeah, he's great. He's great.
I have you now.
So's actually surprisingly not great for some other things. Sometimes Sos and I butt heads a lot. But I always think it's butting heads in a healthily butting heads, where we both like come away from it like kind of. I think Sos and I are very similar in that sense, where when we butt heads, we get steamed, but then like we walk away and we come back and we're like, other guy had a point. And we kind of like collectively through our butting of heads, we come away like with better opinions. But Sos was one of the first people that kind of challenged my understanding of like gender norms and stuff like that. And like to be fair, like in the conversation we had, he walked away from it, the one who was outnumbered in the conversation. But like history proved Sos right, and time proved Sos right. And I am very glad that he like, you know, fucking argued with me about that when I was like much younger. I mean, I was like 21, he was like 23, and he was like way ahead of me on that stuff. And I was like, damn. I think back to that conversation a lot. I'm like, damn. Sos was fucking right. Like, Sos was right, and at the time, like, I was like adamant that he was wrong. I love him.
I have you now.
I love him. Our newest thing is trying to convince him, because he's also stingy as fuck. Our new thing, well, the most recent thing that I remember, it's been a while. I don't know if he ended up doing this, but our new recent thing is convincing Sos to buy a belt and clothes that fit him. Because in true amazing Sos fashion, he lost a ton of weight. He got like the gastric bypass surgery, and he lost a ton of weight. Like an incredible amount of weight. This is a man, okay, you need to understand, this is a man who is so stingy that he cuts his own hair. he like cuts his own hair into in like an ambiguous shape. Like that's what he does to save money. He doesn't need to save money. Remember how much money he has in his savings account. He doesn't need to save that much money. But he like cuts his own hair to save money. Which I believe he started doing because, you know, back he used to not make good money, but it's a habit, and like he's used to doing it that way now, so whatever. Okay, this is a man who would rather spend $2.50 on shitty boneless wings from Checkers because it's more food than like spending $15 on like a nice meal that is just less in volume. Okay? Okay, this man is gonna make it through the next Great Depression. I have full confidence in that. But it is torturous. It is torturous to do things with him. Oh, he's already doing that? We're deep in that shit? Fair enough. It is torturous to do things with him sometimes because he is so stingy. So like now that he's lost all this weight, he keeps wearing the same clothes that he wore when he was like literally like 100 pounds heavier. In the style of like Kevin Smith. You know how Kevin Smith lost a ton of weight, but he still wears like that big suit jacket because he's like, I don't want to buy another suit. And I think also he's like trying to make a statement about it or something. To just be like, look at how far I've come. I'm in Burrowell at the moment. How have you found the Drangos 2 HD2 movies? That's all I'm really honest about with the remake for 2 is I only glided across the tower in the OG Drangos 2. I am quite happy with this remake. I'm so happy with it that I have little to say about it aside from the fact that it's a very good game and that I am enjoying the game I'm playing. Which I think is why the playthrough has so far been me like going off on tangents about completely unrelated things. It's just a great fucking remake. This might be the way that I recommend people play these, to be honest. What the fuck was I saying? Anyway, so like now he's just wearing like the baggiest fucking clothes because that's what, you know, he was wearing stuff that fit him before, but now it doesn't fit him. We spent months. I don't even know if he ever did this. We spent months telling him, Sos, at the very least, buy a belt that fits you. You can't, because we were hanging out. Having the cousin side does so much for me. I agree. I think they've done a great job characterizing these characters. What was I saying? Oh, we were hanging out. We were going places. Because that's the great thing about Sos. You know, he's this very stingy guy, but he likes going out. He likes having a good time. You know? Like he's a stingy guy for some things, but for other things he's really good about like, yeah, let's go to Universal Studios. Let's go out to eat, you know? He'll probably be really cheap about it, but like he is open to going out and doing fun stuff. Sos is not a homebody. Hey, you want to go play mini golf? Sos is like, let's do it. Hey, you want to go golf? Sos is like, let's do it. He might phone it in. He might not like actually try to bowl, which is frustrating for me as someone who takes an active interest in the sports. But he's gonna be there. He's gonna participate. He's gonna have fun with you. He's just gonna no-sell the shit out of whatever we're doing, except mini golf. I'm like, last time we played mini golf, Sos was like really into it, and it was actually kind of weird because like usually when we do like a sporty thing, he's like, whatever. But this fucking guy was walking around and constantly, he was literally holding his fucking pants up. And my other friend told him, my other friend was like, Sos, you are literally walking around like this, like holding your fucking pants up. Like you need a fucking belt. You need a fucking belt, dude. And Sos was like, that's Sos's response for everything. Sos's response for, I love Sos so much. I love him so much. Sos's response for everything when he doesn't want to do something is, And we kept telling him, dude, you need a belt at the very least, because he didn't want to buy new clothes. Because he was like, why would I buy new clothes? I'm fine wearing this. I'm comfortable in the stuff that I always wear. So it's like, well, I can't fucking challenge that, but like functionally, my man, you need something so that you're not like just walking around literally holding your pants up like a barrel. How the fuck did I get over here before? I don't remember how to get to where to progress. No. God, I hope he bought that belt. You know what? We're hanging out before I leave, before I move. He wanted to hang out and he wants me to watch Has Been Hotel with him, because Sos loves internet web shows like that. So we're gonna go watch Has Been Hotel. I'll probably end up liking it. Because I am a least common denominator kind of audience member for certain things, and I'm pretty sure that's gonna be one of them. But like I'm gonna fucking peep his belt. I'm gonna be like, are you wearing a fucking belt? Or I might do the GC thing, which is get in the car. We're going to get you a belt. I will buy you a belt, Sos. This has gone on far enough. This has gone on for far enough. I do not care if it's not you that ends up buying your own belt at this point. It's not, at this point, you're not doing it because it's too expensive. You're just doing it out of principle. And that's stupid. Just this is, there's a lot of loot here, so this place took me like 40 to 50 minutes to beat. Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. There's still one treasure here that I haven't gotten yet, and I don't know where it is. I also need a new belt. But not because mine doesn't fit me, it's because mine's like really raggedy. I always like make fun of like Sos being stingy, but at the same time, like, me and him are also two people who are like, I'm not buying a new phone until the one that I have literally cannot do anything anymore. Sos has me beat. I've talked about it before where like I've had the same phone for like 9 years. I have not updated my phone since like 2016. Or 2017 or something like that. Sos had me beat. Sos had me beat. When I met Sos, he had an old school flip phone with an antenna. Like from 2004, 2005. And it was 2011 when I met Sos, or 2012 when I met Sos. Sos did not get... How the fuck did I get into the optional area I was literally trying to avoid doing? And Sos did not buy a new phone. Sos did not get a new phone until like 2018, 2019. This motherfucker had been using a fucking flip phone. He did not own a smartphone until 2019, 2018. I know that because it wasn't until after I was working at Red Robin that I knew that Sos got a new phone. Which means it had to have been like almost right before the pandemic. This motherfucker did not own a smartphone until like right before the turn of the decade. My phone 2022 and it was $70. This phone that I have is this is a Samsung Galaxy A51. and I paid about $100 for it. I paid about $100 for it. And it does everything pretty well. It plays games just fine. You know, it's a little slow by today's standards, but a fucking smartphone's like $800. I'm not buying a fucking smartphone every 2 years. I don't know how some people do it. Some people like update their phone like every couple of years, and I'm like, es una estupidez. Es una estupidez. I'm not doing that shit. Me está tumbando el dinero. They're fucking scamming you. My phone before was a Nokia, so yeah. I don't buy expensive new electronics until my old electronics need to be replaced. I am also that way. I am very old school when it comes to electronic appliances. I will not buy the new thing. Is it just this fucking staircase that I've missed 1,000 times? No, it's the far staircase that I keep forgetting to go to. The one exception that I did lately was a new computer. I did buy a new computer probably well before I actually needed a new computer. But that's because like I needed a computer. I needed a computer that could run Elden Ring better. And also I needed I remember I wanted a new GPU, but I was looking at the prices for like a new computer and what I had, like the money that I had at the time. And I said, you know what? It had been like 4 years, 5 years. And I was like, oh fuck, it's not here either. And I was like, I was a little bit more aware of like the tech industry at the time, and I was like looking at all the stuff that was going on, and I was like, I'm gonna buy my computer parts now. And I ended up buying a new computer that ended up also being very, I just fucked myself up. I have to go all the way around now. I ended up buying a new computer that ended up having a serious hardware malfunction that I still have to troubleshoot, and then I ended up having to buy a brand new version of it because I didn't have time to troubleshoot it. Because we were in the middle of like moving, and I was about to start working a job that I needed a computer for, and I was like panicking because the computer that I was using would just randomly freeze up all the time. Some of you remember that. Some of you were around when that was happening, with like certain games, like with certain, especially when playing certain games, the computer would just lock up completely. So eventually I just had to buy a new computer. I just had to like cut the cord on it because I didn't have time to buy a new part, wait for it to get here, replace the part that I was trying to test to see if that was the part that was broken, you know, get figure that out. If that isn't it, order a new part, wait for the part to get here, troubleshoot it. Like I literally couldn't work. I couldn't edit videos because everything was freezing. I was so fucked off about it. It was the worst. So I just bit the bullet and I bought a brand new computer again, in like 2023. And that was like the only exception. That was the only exception to my technology rule. And oftentimes when I go to buy new tech, I'll look for older versions of it. I'll look for older versions of it on purpose to see if I can get like the last generation or the generation before that, because that might be cheaper. And because I know how technology works. And like, not all the time, but like most of the time, the last gen thing is just as good as the current gen thing. It's just that like, tech marketing is very good at trying to make smaller improvements seem very big. So like, and tech reviewers are the worst for this. If you're a tech reviewer, can you do me a fucking favor? Can you, when you review the new GPUs or when you review the new phones or the performance of new hardware, can you do me a fucking favor? And after you talk about how we get all these increases and whatever, can you actually like put those numbers in flat amounts in an actual like in actual context. Because I'm so sick of tech reviewers being like, this thing blows this CPU blows the previous CPU generation out of the water. And then you look and it's like a 10% increase. And people are like trying to make that out to be like the most monumental new thing. I'm in the fucking thing again. Like, can we please stop fucking, like, if you're a tech reviewer, can you please stop fucking doing that? Because that shit pisses me off. Like, talk about the improvements, yes, but like, stop using the language, stop using marketing language to review your tech product. Because if you start using marketing language to review your tech products, like, in my opinion, I feel like that's a conflict of interest, and at that point, like, I can't trust you to be honest about what you're talking about. Like if you are impressed by its performance, don't fucking talk about it like it's like this like life-changing difference. But if they're not hyperbolic, you're not going to click and NVIDIA won't send the next card for free. Yeah. Like I desperately need tech reviewers to be way better about their language usage in their reviews. Want me to get a Dungeon Man walkthrough? No. I'll figure it out. Okay. If I go down these stairs, or up these stairs, it's a dead end, right? No, but the next thing is a dead end. I remember that. How do I get there? I know what I have to do. Please make this work. Why did we fall all the way down? You're going the right way? This is gonna be so dumb. It's gonna be like there's a staircase that's just not marked on the map. But anyway, yeah. Like most of the time, technology is not. Most of the time, technology increases in technological prowess are significant for the pursuit of the tech, right? For the growth of the tech. So yes, like a 10% increase on CPU performance from one generation to the next is huge. It's massive. But it's massive because of the promise of what that's going to yield in the future. Right? Like it's not that it's like this kind of performance is not like, it's not exciting for consumer level stuff. But because they're marketing to consumers and they need consumers to buy CPUs, reviewers are encouraged to use this kind of terminology, and a lot of tech reviewers are tech reviewers because they were inspired by reviewers who in the past would do sponsored content without telling people, or back in the day, tech reviewing was less. There wasn't. It's people who are being inspired by people who did not have a lot of integrity to begin with, and they think that those people have integrity, and so they alter their. Oh, I'm in the right place. Okay, they alter their, like, they base the way they write on the terminology that they were inspired by when they listen to things, right? So like you have this fucking cascading problem of like the language being used is not consumer friendly. The language being used is brand friendly. It's corporation friendly because you want to establish a good relationship with the brands. How is this not the right way? How did I go the wrong way? There was a bunch of 2 stairs at the bottom left corner. Well, that's at the top. The fact that NVIDIA overtook Apple in terms of biggest tech companies, these brands thrive off hyperbole. Yeah. These ruins are kicking your ass. I know. I'm gonna turn on holy protection so that I don't over level. I don't want to over level. So like the problem is like yeah, but that's what brands want. They want consumers to think that they need the 10% increase. And unfortunately, other companies, there's like, I think there's collusion in the tech industry. Surprise, surprise. Obviously there is, where it's like new hardware comes out and then the software guys update their software to be more demanding so that users are pushed into buying new hardware. And that's sort of like, there it is in the top left. And so like that's sort of like that's the scam. That's the collusion that you get in the tech industry. And so you're forced to buy it. And yeah, the software guys will be like, oh yeah, we had to make it like this because, like, you know, in order for us to do the things that we wanted to do with the technology, it had to become more demanding, which is not necessarily true, and also like brings into question exactly what they're doing with the technology in the first place. Like if you're introducing stupid AI functionality that actively makes the product worse, on all accounts, like there's no, then you're just doing it to collude with hardware companies to get people to buy new hardware. And I imagine people that buy new computers sometimes buy new operating systems for those computers. And, you know, the more hardware you sell, the more likely you are to sell more OS installations. So, you know, I'm sure that also benefits you, the software company, in some way. But yeah, like I hate it. I hate it because most of the time, new tech, you don't really need to buy. You don't need to buy the new thing. You can just buy the old thing. That's why nobody wants to buy consoles anymore, because consoles, they keep trying to tell you, oh, we're gonna sell you this console. It's like, why would I buy this when I know there's like a pro version coming out later? Matilda smells bullshit. He accidentally gave them more information. He's an enemy. Let's kick his ass. If everything is an Xbox and you're playing a console right now. This isn't an Xbox. Not the way I've got it rigged up. Matilda is like, I smell horse shit. Matilda's like, this guy's a fucking phony. Who the fuck is this? Who the fuck is this? Any predictions for the Jeff Award announcements? Do y'all want to go through the nominees once I'm done with this dungeon? Do y'all want to like stay here for like an extra hour and a half and we talk about them? Because I'm about to beat this. Do not warrant me to get a mid-generation upgrade. The console market is going to hit a plateau in terms of spec. Yeah. Since Kojima is nominated, he'll probably announce some bullshit. Yeah, I'm sure. There's also the player's choice stuff. What's player's choice? Like, are they doing a separate category where players can choose, where like audience can choose stuff, or low-key hoping for that first Silksong DLC teaser? They should give it a release date if they announce it so that people know to plan around it. There's like a voting pool for a player's choice category and it's going in waves. Oh, okay. Okay. You know, they probably already have this trademarked so you can't use it. But the Player's Choice Awards would go really hard as like a an award show for video games. She doesn't take bullshit in her China store. That's a really good way to. That's a really good saying. I like that. Oh, this is the be careful not to fucking fall off the tower, or else you'll have to start over room. I don't have anything to restock on MP, so we're just gonna have to go with what we've got. Unfortunate. You know what, Caradoc? Put that on. I want to see something. Expedition 33 will most likely sweep anyway, unfortunately. Unfortunately. I am as good as my word and may be trusted without question. You may now tell me all that you know. No. Yeah, the Canox. Once again, you prove yourself more perspective than you might appear, brother. Oh, yo, that's actually really cool. If he is a guardian of the sigils, he would have us believe. Wherefore must we prove ourselves worthy? Surely he would know us as its rightful claimants from the first. And surely he would not need to pester us so for knowledge of the very object he is charged with guarding. You saw it too, did you not, sister? Perhaps not as clearly as you, brother, but I did perceive your suspicion and choose to apply something of it myself.
Perhaps you are not the empty-heading striplings I presumed you to be. But no matter. Only one path now remaineth. The path of elimination!
Oh, he turned out to be a cat. Cars community curse of equipment defects, just can't get it off without a church, which is a go to change. Yeah. So we talked about this in the past. So the game actually makes a hint about this in a book you can read in a bookshelf, which is in order to not suffer the effects of cursed items, you have to overcome the curse. You have to overcome curses. What that implies is that Cannock, after the segment where he is cursed, after you cure him, he is no longer affected by curses. So cursed items don't bother him anymore. I don't know if there's extra stuff about that, but yeah. I unfortunately had it spoiled for me. Cullen spoiled it for me. I wish he hadn't shown me it, but it wasn't a big deal because I already assumed based on the book we found in the game that there was some sort of method to making that happen. So yes, we can completely deck him out. This is also really cool because it is a callback to Dragon Quest IV. In Dragon Quest IV, in the DS remake of Dragon Quest IV, there is a character in the post game that there's a character in the post game of Dragon Quest IV who can wear equipped items. And that is that character's entire gimmick. The entire gimmick of that character is that he can equip cursed items. I don't like the insta-kill spam. That's kind of annoying. I do have something to put on to avoid it if we lose here. Can I insulate from... I don't know if that'll protect me from insta-kill moves.
Do try to stay alive. That won't happen again. Here, a boom.
Yeah, I just don't know if that's gonna work out the way I want it to. We're gonna double up again. I'm not really worried about healing, but I will multi-heal in a second. Let's try to fizzle this guy, because he's gonna be fucking annoying. And let's sap him. Oh, resistant to sap, huh? Oh, he's affected by fizzle. Okay. That's the way you do it. Let's do multi-slice. Let's re-oomph Gawain. And let's, well, he's not affected by sap, so let's just frizzle him. Oh, and a crit. Oh yeah. Beautiful. Junior Force surely will not be remade next. You're right, it's rank 7. I really want 4 to get remade. Okay, bye. Atlas must not. Who the fuck is Atlas? The rogue tempted us with one sigil in order that he might draw from his knowledge of the rest. It seems he did, and I was fool enough to follow him wheresoever he led. Nonsense! Anyone would have been taken by such a performance. Anyone save my brother, that is. I doff my cap to thee, my keen-eyed sibling. 'Twas my pleasure, good lady. Let us claim the sigil if you be so kind as to break the barrier, Gawain. Yes, I will put up my little object. My little item that dispels evil wards. With the big sword. The big faded sword. You're legit heroes, right? That's sick. I just need you to prove that. And your social security numbers and your credit card information. And your mother's maiden name and the name of your first pet. And where you grew up and what hospital you were born at. Haha, guys, I have such a funny social media trend. What if we all shouted out the hospitals we were born at? Please retweet with the name of, with some love for your hospital. Represent.
Here? Scions of Erdrick, can you hear me? We are in need of your aid. Come to the Shrine of Rain, quickly.
Ah, shit. Give me a second. I gotta open my... Oh, no, we're done after this.
Let us do as she says, and make for
Such
the
a funny
Shrine of
trend.
Rain.
Always push very organically.
Something is clearly amiss.
Cool new social media trend. Post your fingerprint. I want at least an HD remaster of the Zenithia trilogy, the DS versions. So Cullen and I have talked about this a lot, where we both agree that these remakes are really cool, and Dragon Quest games getting remade is neat. Some of them don't need it, 1, but 2, even if you're going to remake 4, 5, and 6, they should still put out. They should port the older versions to PC. We're both in agreement for that. Where it's like, even if you're going to remake the games, that's cool. That's cool. But you should, I really want, like, you should also, like, you should port the older games. A remake should always include the previous last version. You know what? You know what, Krebsig? Sometimes you and I completely disagree on things. A lot of the time we completely disagree on things. I totally agree with you. I think every remake of a game, every remake, if you are remaking a video game, you should package the original version of that game inside of the remake. There should be a way to, you should package the original inside of that remake. 100% agree. I 100% agree. And you know what? I'll even give them an extra incentive to do it. because video game companies are fucking dastardly like this and they're evil. Okay? Okay? They're fucking evil when they do this shit. But you know what? You know what? You could even do the bastard video game company thing of delisting the original game from digital stores because, and then you can justify it by saying that the original is now packaged in the remake. I would still think it's scummy as fuck. But if that's the world I have to live in, where the remake delists the original, but the original is now packaged with the remake, I will accept it if that's what it takes to make this shit happen. The fact that only Microsoft games have the mechanic where you can switch with OG and remake, I thought it'd be way more common. I also thought it would be way more common. Can I save in this room? I can't. I cannot. So we cannot save scum this tombola. I mean, we could, but it would take more work. I think every remake should include a lengthy cutscene where the characters at the end of the game sit in a car and go over how scary the events of the game were in great detail for 30 or 40 minutes, and it ought to be written like absolute shit. Yeah. See, the director's cuts are not remakes, so like me being pissed off about the director's cut is still golden. I can't believe they're delisting that shit. That's one of the newly added scenes in Zero, and it happens all the way at the end of the game. That's garbage, yeah. It's fucking. Oh, Krebs, you haven't seen them? Yo, you gotta go look at them. You gotta go look at them. Don't even play the director's cut. Don't even bother with that. But do go look at the cutscenes. It's like 25 minutes of extra cutscenes. It's like 25 minutes. Like in total, they all total up to about 25 minutes of extra cutscenes. But all of them are so bad. All of them are so bad. I think there was like one cutscene where I was like, this is fine. But then like halfway through it got bad again. Like there's one cutscene where I'm like, half of this was okay. Once the stream is over, you should go watch them. I'm currently contemplating buying the old version on a key reseller for like $10. I can't. I don't want people to play the director's cut. I don't want people to play the director's cut. I think the director's cut is going to make Yakuza 0 look really bad in the long term. I own Yakuza 0 physically as well. This is why physical media. This is like the good thing about physical media is that like you have like you know, you have a version of something that this is why physical media is good in the digital era, because you kind of sidestep these problems by just having that. I really want to buy a Stream Deck XL. I really want more buttons. Oh well. My throat kind of hurts and I'm kind of hungry, so I don't think we're going to go over the video game award stuff. Maybe we'll do it tomorrow at the start of the stream. Maybe that'll be fun. Anyway, that's going to be it for me. Hope you all had a great time chatting today. I am going to go eat, hang out with some friends, apply to some jobs. Until then, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.